Hey LESHER Vikings, I'm Ezra.
And I'm Sawyer.
And today we're here to tell you about how the Francis Scott Key Bridge collapsed on March 26th.
The bridge collapsed after a massive cargo ship from Singapore crashed into one of the supports for the bridge.
The collision took place when the engine power failed and it was impossible to steer the ship back onto course.
As far as casualties go, 6 immigrants fixing potholes on the bridge fell in when the bridge collapsed.
This will heavily affect the world economy as the bridge wreckage will block the river, disrupting an extremely valuable trade route, losing millions of shipments.
In shipments,
you're right.
As of April 1st, a cleanup of the wreckage has begun, which will open back up trade routes and make it easier for authorities to find the immigrants that fell in along with the bridge.
I hope you found this interesting, and we'll continue to report as this story develops. Have a great weekend, LESHER Vikings.
Hi, LESHER Vikings. According to UPI, on March 12th, a 14-karat gold Lego piece donated to a Pennsylvania Goodwill store, originally priced at $15, ended up selling for over $18,000. Goodwill officials said workers at the store in Du Bois were sorting through a bag of jewelry transferred from the State College Goodwill store when they found the Lego piece, a small bionicle mask. You wouldn't think anything of it. It came in a little old-looking Lego box. Chad Smith, the vice president of e-commerce and technology for Goodwill in northern central Pennsylvania, told People. He said the piece was initially listed online for $14.95. We didn't know it was worth anything until people started asking if they could buy it for $1,000, Smith told WPVI-TV. Workers researched the piece and discovered it was an extremely rare Kanoi Hao mask. According to them, Lego created only 30 of the gold masks. It was a giveaway, and there were 25, I believe, that were given away, and 5 remained for people who actually worked at Lego. So 23 years later, one of these resurfaces, and it's really unique, Smith told KDKA-TV. Goodwill auctioned the piece, and it ended up being sold for $18,101 to an anonymous collector. Have a great week in LESHER Vikings, and do you want one?
Hi Vikings, today I have a list of the top 10 most expensive buildings in the world. First, in 10th place, we have the Emirates Palace. This building is a hotel in Dubai worth $3 billion US. Next, in 9th, we have the Lat World Tower located in Seoul, South Korea. This building is worth $3.1 billion. In 8th, we have the One World Trade Center worth $3.9 billion. 7th, we have the Cosmopolitan, which is a luxury resort and casino in Las Vegas. It's worth about $4.1 billion. Next, we have the Wynn Palace, which is a $4.2 billion casino in China. Next, and 5th, we have the Resorts World Sentosa, which is an island of resorts in Singapore, with a value of $4.93 billion. And 4th, we have Apple Park. Apple Park is the headquarters of Apple in Cupertino, California, and it's worth $5 billion. And 3rd, we have the Marina Bay Sands Hotel in Singapore, worth $5.5 billion. Finally, in 2nd, we have the Abraj Al Bayt, and these 7 skyscrapers are worth $16 billion. Lastly, we have Masjid Al Haram, which is a religious temple in Saudi Arabia. This church is worth a mind-blowing $100 billion. That's all. Thanks for watching.
Hi Vikings, it's me Zoe.
And me, Evelyn.
Here's a fun fact. Did you know that Old Town in Fort Collins inspired Disneyland's Main Street?
According to visitfortcollins.com, before constructing Disneyland, Walt Disney asked Harper Goff to help him design the park.
Born in 1911, Goff was raised in Fort Collins by his father, who owned the Fort Collins Express Courier newspaper.
Goff, a Hollywood art director by trade, drew sketches based on his childhood memories of Old Town Fort Collins buildings when drafting up plans for Disneyland's Main Street USA buildings.
Buildings such as the old Firehouse Bookstore, the old Linden Hotel, and the Bank Building and the City Hall Building, among others, were used for inspiration.
I hope you enjoyed this segment.
Have a sleigh weekend, Vikings!
Hey LESHER Vikings, I'm starting a series about 3 fun facts in each of the 50 states. 50 states is a lot, so I will definitely not be filming all this series by myself. Let's get started with 3 fun facts about a home state, Colorado. Number 1, the state fossil for Colorado is the Stegosaurus. Number 2, Colorado became a state in 1876. Number 3, the state bird of Colorado is the lark bunting. I hope you enjoyed those quick facts about Colorado. Have a great weekend, Vikings.
Hey LESHER Vikings, I'm going to try something different and show you 5 weird optical illusions. Number 1, the Muller-Lyer illusion. Which line is shorter, the top or the bottom? I'll give you a second to look. It's actually a trick question. They're the same size. It looks like the top one is bigger, but that's not true. It looks bigger because of the lines sticking out, but they're even. Number 2, the scintillating grid illusion. You may have seen the scintillating grid illusion before. Your brain thinks there's a black dot inside each white circle, but when you focus on each white circle, you realize it was never there at all. Number 3, the elephant optical illusion. How many legs does the elephant have? At first, it looks simple, but if you take a closer look, you'll see 4 legs. No, wait, 5 legs. No, actually, 6? No, it's 8. The elephant has 8 legs. Number 4, see how many animals you can find in 10 seconds. Let me know how many you found. If you said 12, you'd be right. The first one is an elephant, which most of you saw, I'm guessing. Then there is a snake for the tail, then a mosquito that was above the donkey, which is above the dog, which is above the cat, which is above the mouse. Then there's a prawn next to the donkey, which is in the spot in between the elephant's legs. Then there's a crocodile for the mouth and a dolphin tail for the trunk of the elephant, and a tortoise for the ear. And the final one was a fish for the eye. And the final illusion is the connected lines riddle. Which of the 2 lines on the right of the rectangle connects to the 1 line on the left of the gray rectangle? What if it was color-coded? Now it's way easier. Did you think it was the bottom one? Have a great weekend, Vikings. Did any of those fool you?
Welcome back to the 6th episode of 5 Silly Questions, the segment where I interview teachers with 5 absolutely ridiculous questions. Today we have Coach Muller. Enjoy. So second question, if you could go to any planet besides Earth, which one would you go to?
I think I'd like to try this Mars situation out because it seems like they're trying to make that an inhabitable place for us eventually. So I'd check out Mars.
Yep. Number 3, if you ruled the world, what would you do first?
Oh, if I could rule the world, what would I do first? I would figure out this, I don't want to sound like a Miss America pageant answer, but like this world peace idea sounds like a great idea, or maybe we could get along a little bit better. Sounds like the first thing would be my order of business.
Yep. Alright, 4th question. If you were a ball that you play sports with, which ball would you be?
Man, I think a football.
So people could throw you around?
Yeah, throw me around, kick me if they need to, whatever it takes.
Alright then. Okay. And number 5, the age-old would you rather question. Would you rather lick a fish or bite a worm?
Well, I've had the opportunity to do both of those things in my lifetime, so I prefer the worm taste over fish taste.
All right. And that is all the questions. And if you want to suggest a question or a teacher to be featured, just follow the link.
Hi guys, Camden here. Today on Combat Chronicles, we have a lot of stuff. Since I'm starting the original character tournament on the next KLIB, this is my final normal episode of Combat Chronicles. There's only one problem. What fight would be on my last normal episode of Combat Chronicles? Well, after careful consideration, I'm doing all of them. Some of these are boring matchups, but I have a lot of fights still unanswered on my Combat Chronicles Google form. This may be the most controversial episode to have existed yet, but I will be telling you all about who wins each fight and why, starting with Mario versus Sonic the Hedgehog. Because Mario has fast enough reaction time to counter Sonic's speed and is able to output at least 100 times more force than Sonic, Mario wins this fight. Next fight, Master Jiraiya from Naruto versus Master Roshi from Dragon Ball. Between catching bullets, taking out an entire universe's 10 best fighters, and literally blowing up the moon. Unless Jiraiya can confuse Master Roshi with his jutsu, which Master Roshi is resisted against, Master Roshi from Dragon Ball wins that fight. Next fight, Blitzo from Haluva Boss versus Uzi from Murder Drones. Because Uzi has been shown to take insanely hard hits, and normally without any of her powers she can exert 17.8 tons of force. With her powers, she can pretty much manipulate anything to her will due to her glitch code and catch anything that comes at her. Oh, she can also fly. While Blitzo could probably avoid her attacks for a while due to his dexterity, Uzi wins this match. Next fight, Triple Trouble, Yakko, Wacko, and Dot from the Animaniacs versus Chris, Susie, and Ralsei from Deltarune versus Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup from the Powerpuff Girls. First, I'm gonna have to eliminate Chris, Susie, and Ralsei, because Susie and Ralsei are dead weight. And because while Chris can keep themselves alive with the power of determination, they have attempted unalivement and are clearly against the player who keeps their determination alive. Now it's just down to the Powerpuff Girls and the Animaniacs, and the winner is easily the Animaniacs. At this point, the trio is pretty much indestructible due to their ludicrous amounts of Toon Force, and while my stupid school computer won't give me too much info on their powers, Wacko is able to summon an insanely powerful shield. All three of them have either escaped or fought the devil successfully, and at some point, Yakko is either able to explode or punch the moon out of orbit, which takes an unholy amount of force. While the Powerpuff Girls may be a little faster, the Animaniacs win this fight. Next fight, Duo from Duolingo versus Dora the Explorer. Duo easily wins this fight, but not because of his strength, because of his insane speed. Math done by the YouTuber Zursul calculated that Duo can move at a max of 6.8 billion miles per hour. No matter how strong or fast Dora is, chances are that she probably can't outspeed or outmatch Duo. Next fight, Gru versus Mr. Incredible. Gru can run at about Mach 3 and has the strength of a normal human, but Mr. Incredible can run at Mach 391 and can output 153 tons of force. Even with Gru's gadget, Mr. Incredible outclasses Gru on everything. Next fight! Oh, wait, that's all of the fights I have. That's all for now, and I'll see you on the next episode for the start of the Combat Chronicles original character tournament.
This is how one developer created an entire operating system that developers have praised for 3 decades. And it all starts here with Linus Torvalds. This is Linux, the origin story, part 1. Linus was just a regular student, not like many others. And the simple key to his success was the fact that he didn't settle for what others could make. If something wasn't good enough, he tried making himself and sharing his work with the world. Having grown up in Helsinki, Finland, Linus entered the University of Helsinki in 1998 and began his studies in computer science. After his first year, though, he had to go to the army, but after around 11 months, he returned to the university to continue his studies. And it was during this time he began the Linux project. The first online post regarding his creation of Linux dates back to the 25th of August, 1991. I'm doing a free operating system, just a hobby, won't be big and professional like GNU, for 386-46 AT clones. Linus's interest in computers began with the Commodore VIC-20. on which he started to learn programming before his time at university. Initially, he learned BASIC, but later he learned the machine code of the processor to access it directly. He then bought a Sinclair QL computer and heavily modified it, including the operating system, and due to the difficulty of getting software in Finland, he eventually ended up creating his own games and other programs, and then made his own Pac-Man clone. In 1990, Linus was introduced to the operating system Unix for the first time, and personally started learning the Unix-like operating system Mimix. In 1991, he bought his Intel 8386 clone of the IBM PC. This was already common for Linus. The software available for the system was not very satisfactory. Mimix really couldn't do what he wanted it to do, and it was very limited by its licensing, so this is what led to the motivation behind the creating of Linux. That's it for part 1 of this episode. Part 2 will be coming to you in our next KLIB episode. I hope you have a great weekend, Vikings. See ya.
Hello, LESHER Vikings and Queens. Lately, more and more people have been carrying around their phones and using them. So, let's interview people and ask them if they think phones should be with them in school, in their locker, or maybe just left at home. My name is Zoe. What's your name?
I'm Soren.
What grade are you in?
I'm in 7th.
And what's your opinion on having phones in school? Should they stay in your locker? It's okay to have them on you, or should they just stay at your house?
Honestly, I think they should stay in your locker.
Okay, cool. Hi, my name is Zoe. What's your name?
I'm Henrik.
What grade are you in?
I'm in 6th grade.
And what's your opinion on having phones in school? Should they stay in your locker? Is it okay to have them on you, or just keep them at home?
Well, it depends on how much you use your phone. If you're like a full-time into it, I think they should stay at your house. Because even if it is in your locker, it could be to the point where you're so tempted to do it that you're just going to pick it up and get on it. But otherwise, I think you should at least keep it in your locker. And that's really all I think on it.
Thank you. I agree with you. People don't need to have their phones on. Hi, my name is Zoe. What's your name?
Lucy?
What's your opinion on having phones in school?
I feel like they should be like kept in lockers, since it's kind of like a distraction and you're like wanting to like check it and see, oh, which friend texted me, or did my mom say if she's picked me up or not?
That makes sense. Thanks for joining us today. Hi, my name is Zoe. What's your name?
My name's Maria.
What grade are you in?
I'm in 7th grade.
What's your opinion on having phones in school? Is it okay to have them on you? Should you keep them in your locker, or just keep them at home?
I think it depends. I think you can have them in your, like, with you, but like you can't be using them.
Hi, my name is Zoe. What's your name?
Sarah.
What grade are you in?
6.
What's your opinion on phones in school? Should they stay at your house? You don't need them in school. Stay in your locker. Or just, it's fine to carry them around with you, either in a pocket or fanny pack or something.
I think you should have to keep them in your locker unless you're deemed responsible enough to have them in your pocket. By me, because I'm that powerful.
What's your name?
Hi, I'm Zoe. And you've seen everyone else's opinion, and I've decided I'm going to share mine. I feel like phones should be kept in lockers because you don't need your phone in your pocket. You don't but also you don't need to keep it at school because what if your mom's picking you up early, or what if something happens and you need to know, yeah.
Thank you for your opinion, Zoe.
Wow, it was great hearing all of those opinions. I hope you enjoyed this segment. Bye and have a great weekend.
Hey Vikings, I'm here to tell you about the secret Taylor Swift has been keeping from us for 2 years, and that is her 11th studio album, The Tortured Poets Department, or to quote Taylor, Tortured Poets for short. If you don't already know, the clowning started when Taylor's profile picture turned black and white on the morning of the Grammys 2024, February 4th. But what most Swifties didn't notice is a slight sepia tone to the picture, which aligns with the theme of the Tortured Poets Department. If you don't know, Black and White is the theme of Reputation, Taylor's 6th studio album, and most Swifties assumed it was next on the Taylor's version re-recording process. Later that day, TaylorSwift.com crashed, but Swifties soon noticed that the error codes were not real, and one was an anagram of red herring, often used to convey that something is a distraction. Another error code read DPT123, or in reverse, 321 TPD. TPD or TTPD stands for the album, and by now, people were getting jittery for the Grammys later that day. Fast forward to that evening, Taylor showed up towards the end of the red carpet portion of the night wearing a white Schiaparelli dress accessorized with black gloves and a clock necklace set to midnight. Lana Del Rey accompanied her, wearing a black lace dress, and she and Taylor would remain together for most of the night. Towards the end of the award ceremony, Celine Dion announced, "The pop vocal album of the year goes to Taylor Swift." Taylor then pulled Lana onto the stage to accept the award for her 10th studio album, Midnights, as Lana had been featured on Taylor's song Snow on the Beach. During her acceptance speech, Taylor said, "I would like to thank the fans by telling you a secret I've been keeping from you for the last 2 years, which is that my brand new album comes out on April 19th. It's called The Tortured Poets Department. I'm going to go post the cover right now backstage." People were left stunned. The cover was a completely different theme from the rest of her discography. I wish I could tell you more, but this brings Chapter 1 of the Tortured Poets series to a close. Stay tuned for more info next week regarding the tracklist leak and more. In the meantime, check out the YouTube channels of Ali Sheehan, Alexis Victoria, and McCall Mirabella for more info.
Hey LESHER Vikings, I'm KLIB Bravo with your very first spring sports update. In this segment series, I'll give you an update on upcoming sporting events, as well as any victories our teams had recently. To begin, our track and field team will be officially starting practice next Monday. However, they do not have any upcoming meets within the next week or so. Next, we have softball. Softball will have a game next Tuesday against CLP Middle School at Spring Park, and next Thursday against Blevins at Blevins Middle School. Last but not least, we have golf. Next Tuesday, our golf team will compete against Wellington at the South Ridge Golf Course. Then, the following Thursday, our team will compete against Bolts at the Mountain Vista Golf Course. That's all for this week's sporting events. Please come and support your friends and peers as they play in these sporting events, and have a great weekend, Vikings.
Rider 13, Kelly McGarry. 3, 2, 1, Gary. Yeah, boy.
just a little bit. Spin a little more to get rid of it. Smile a little more and I'm into it. Honestly, man, lately I've been running through this strange life, chasing all them green lights, throwing up the shade for a little bit of sunshine. Hit me with them good vibes, pictures on my phone like everything is so fine. Little bit of sunshine. A little bit of sunshine. I don't really know any other way to say this. Can't slow down, trying to keep up with the changes. Punch that number in the name when I clocked in. Now I feel like Michael with the cane when I walked in. Basically, life is the same thing, unless you don't want the same thing. Probably should've went and got a feature, but I didn't. I've been saving up the money cause it's better for the business. I've been running through the strange life, chasing all them green lights, throwing out the shade for a little bit of sunshine. 묻어뒀지